Hey, David Perdue here from MyNAMS.com and the Novice to Advanced Marketing System. And I got a couple of people with me today that I'm really excited to bring in for a very short video about, a very short presentation about videos and video marketing. I've got Valerie Duvall with me here and Ray Lane. And Ray has a new product that Valerie and I wanted to talk to him about. But first I wanted to introduce Valerie and let her say a couple of words about what we're doing together. So Valerie.
Yeah, recently Dave and I and Jen, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with, and my list is new to you guys, but we decided to partner, and I am helping them out on their marketing track, getting all of the awesome products they have in the background, getting them out into the forefront so we can move on to that stuff. So it's exciting. There's going to be a lot of great stuff we're coming out with.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to get Ray on here, because Ray is is working in a platform. I've known Ray a long time, and I know Valerie has too. Ray has been involved in some of our own coaching in our system because he's an expert in video marketing particularly, but also social media stuff. And it's always a delight to have Ray on because he really knows the nitty-gritty about stuff, especially in the video marketing world. And Ray, I'm really glad you're here because you're coming out with something that I think is really important for people to see when it comes to video marketing. And you've got a lot of really excellent elements that you're going to add into video marketing here.
Yeah, and let me tell a little backstory about this. For those that don't know me, my background actually is in television, not so much in marketing. So before all this internet marketing and video marketing stuff was really a big thing, I was actually in TV news and worked for companies making TV commercials, things like that. And as I transitioned into the IM world and started to bring video into that, even before YouTube was around, believe it or not, if you can think that far back.
That's a long time, Ray.
You know, it seems like it, doesn't it? It was only, only been 10 years. Well, actually about 11 and a half years now since YouTube came out. But we actually started before YouTube doing real video and things like that. But one thing that I've noticed over the last few years is that what's really lacking when we do video online versus in the old TV days and in the news and everything is really good television style graphics for your videos, which can be very important. Things like, you know, the lower thirds at the bottom of your screen, like you see in the news and in commercials. And yes, we have a lot of creative people who create web graphics, and people will adapt the web graphics and put them in their videos. And of course, a lot of people create things like the, the doodle characters or animated characters that you can use in videos. But when we're doing traditional video with, let's say, an actor on the screen, you want to have that really nice TV style graphic with the lower thirds. We also create animated buttons that pop up on the screen. So those would be things that say like buy now or check out here, or, things like that, sign up now. And we wanted to bring all of those really nice graphics into the IM world. And so that's why we put together this package that we call Vidnimations for video animations. And along with the lower thirds and the animated buttons, we also have YouTube end screens. And we'll show those in a couple minutes if you don't know exactly what that means, as well as call to action trailers for your videos so that you can really start to not only make them look classier, make them more valuable, but actually provide people with an easier way to buy your products. And of course, that's what we're all trying to do. So that's why we put all of this stuff together along with the trainings.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, Dave and I were just talking this morning. I served in the Navy for a while as a graphic artist. So,
oh, really?
I tell my list this all the time. So I'm always showing them graphic stuff. So this is right in line with what my people like. And they know I like it too because it just gives that professional air, Oh,
yeah, absolutely. It really does. And, we were talking about with some other folks earlier, that not only does it give it that professional look, but it actually can make it more valuable. For instance, when you're working with a local business, and these aren't specific for local businesses, but if you're working with a local business, one of the things that they're going to want is they're going to want that TV quality style to it. And this allows you to be able to sell those videos at a higher price to them because they have more value to them. And then on the other side of things, when you add like the animated graphics onto the screen that say buy now, inside of YouTube, you can actually turn that into a clickable button. And when you do that, you'll actually see probably about a 30 to 40% increase in the number of clicks and hopefully as well sales from doing just that. So it's got a little bit of functionality besides just the aesthetics of it all.
So I was going to ask you why somebody would be interested in this, but you're really answering that already. It's really about conversions is what we're talking about, right?
At the end of the day, it really is. I mean, everything is pretty much about action taking, whether it's, for videos or anything. We always want people to take some sort of action, whether it's an opt-in or to purchase a product or, even if it's just hit like for your Facebook page. We always want somebody to do something. And the more we can make it easier for them to do that, the more we can entice them to do that, the better it's going to be. And if they can actually click on the video screen itself where it says buy now, that's going to increase your conversions. And we've done tests to show that. But also at the same time, when your videos look more professional, they're going to be more valued. You're going to be taken more seriously. You're going to be able to sell videos at a higher price. And let's face it, most of us probably don't have a $3,000 or $5,000 video camera that we're shooting with. Most of us are probably shooting with this. And, and that's not to put this down. Believe it or not, I'm in my home studio. It's a very small studio. This is what I usually use to shoot my videos. And I've got professional cameras, but the reason I do is because it's very easy. I can shoot. I don't need somebody there to control the camera. I can just pop it up and it does a great job. And then I don't even have to do anything because it'll wirelessly send the video to my computer. And so it's just very easy to use. So you can use these phones these days as a professional style camera because the quality is good enough for that. And then when you add in things like lower thirds and graphics, you have a very professional video very quickly. So David, looks like you have a show and tell over there for us.
How about this? So this is this is my own little $30, what do you call it? Selfie stick with a tripod base on it.
Love it.
And people are asking, sorry?
I need that.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. It's great. So people are asking, I'm doing a lot of Facebook video live these days. And people are asking me why the videos are so professional looking. And it's just the quality they're talking about. And it's because I put my iPhone right here on this little stand and set it on a bench or do whatever I want and record the video and get everything right. Now, what you're telling me, though, is that I can take that video, load it to YouTube, add the lower thirds, add the animation elements, and it becomes even more professional and becomes a branded video for us.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And, like I said, it really makes the videos stand out in a world of, just like the tripod, just putting it on that little tripod made people go, wow, why your videos look so great? Well, when we shoot videos, I come from the TV world. So to me, this isn't anything, out of the ordinary. But when I talk to people and they say, well, gee, your videos, how did you do the animated thing on your video? And, and it's like, well, it's not really that hard. You just have to have access to the assets to do so. And that's the main reason we came out with this is because there really wasn't anything that did this. There have been a couple of products that maybe made still ones here and there, but they were few and far between, but nothing that really stood out. And so we wanted to put something together that really brought those types of graphics to the IM world and to the online video world. So,
well, would you mind showing us some of this? I'm sorry, Valerie, go ahead.
No, I just have a question about the product too. Can you add, so the lower third, can that change over the time inside the video?
Yes.
Because I just recently, and I don't remember what the video was, but they showed how you can put a sentence there in your lower third that says, coming up in the next minute, whatever, and people just stay there glued to your video. So that's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now I have the tool to do it with.
Yeah, because what you do with that is you actually put in the graphic there, and then in any of the video editors that you use, whether it's Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere or Sony Vegas or iMovie, whatever it happens to be, when you put that lower third in there, that video editing program will have a text tool of some kind. And you just use that and you just type in your name or type in coming soon, in the next minute, whatever. Right. And it'll automatically add that in there. So it's very easy to do that. And you just
you become like your own little CNN,
You really do.
With a ticker tape.
Exactly it. Yep.
Cool. Well, Ray, would you mind showing us some of these tools?
I would love to. Let me see if I can do this without making any mistakes here. All right. Share screen. So let me know when you see that.
We see it.
My lovely mug there. So what we have here, this is actually what will be the sales page. And you can see here, I start off with a very basic video of me just on the green screen background. And I'm not going to force you to sit here and watch the video. You can do that later. But in fact, we'll mute this in case I want to hit play. And that way we don't have to listen to me while I do this. But you can see here, I start off on the green screen. And then you'll see in just a moment, if I can get to the right spot here without making you wait too long, that sometime here, we'll see how this looks. All right, so I add the lower third in there with my name.
Love it.
This is one of them. And of course, I add a button up here. And again, inside of YouTube, you can make this clickable. Now you'll see then I pop in a background, which by the way, we do give you a set of backgrounds as well. So you'll have that in addition to the actual animated graphic assets in there. And then what we have as we move along here is what we call to action trailers. And so what this is at the end of your video, you would put something like this. So contact us now. And then you'd be able to put in your information on there as well. And then we have these, which are what we call YouTube end screens.
Now you're looking like Jimmy Fallon.
And you know what? It's funny you say that because he actually he's a very big user of these end screens like this on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And so what we've given you here is, and I believe, and I forget how many are actually in the front end. There's 10 different types, but each one has like 5 different. So there's like 50 or something like that. I'm not even sure the exact number total. But you'll get, for instance, in this style here, you'll have like 5 different versions of this. 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos. And all you do is you follow the instructions and you basically turn these green spots, they disappear. And when they disappear, you just put your video underneath. And then you'll have, this could be, you know, the next video, this could be the previous video, and this could be another video, or however you want to set that up. But it'll lead people to the next video that you want to send them to. And in this case, to 3 different videos.
So if I'm a newbie in video marketing, you have instructions on how to do this with this
yes,
stuff?
we do have instructions on how to do this. Now, we show it with a program called Final Cut Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, not everyone is going to have that particular video editing tool, but most of the editing tools work fairly the same. So you will have to, you know, if you're using a different one, you may have to figure out, okay, how does mine do green screen?
Mm-hmm.
And just look it up. And it's very easy to do these days. In fact, I laugh because I can't believe I'm telling people it's easy to do, because I remember the days where it was like, you know, you could send a man to the moon as easy as you could do green screening. And nowadays it's so simple to do. And we do show you how to do that, but it's almost a one-step process. You literally find whatever tool in your editor does the green screen, you turn it on, and boom, it's going to find that green and cut it out for you automatically. So it's a very simple process. I'm sorry, go ahead.
What are you using for your background?
The blue background here?
That's actually your green background.
Oh, I see. So what you do is when you're done with this, like, for instance, let's say this video was for a dentist, and he was telling you what type of toothbrush is the best toothbrush. Well, when it gets to this screen here, inside of here, maybe this is the next video that says, you know, how to whiten your teeth.
Gotcha.
And then maybe these are 2 other videos. And what you do is when you cut out this green, and again, you use your green screen tool, this is sounding way more complex than it really is. You turn that on, this will become transparent. These green boxes will be transparent. And you literally put your other video in your timeline underneath it. And it'll peek through. So it'll be like a window looking at the next video.
So I've done this, and I want to make sure that people understand that this is not nearly as complicated as that just sounded, because it is really just a selection and a delete.
Yes. Yeah. All you have to have with you is the video you want to share at the end. And again, you know, if you want to see these types of things in action, check out Jimmy Fallon or Saturday Night Live. Either one of those, they make very good use of these types of end screens at the end of their videos.
And the reason you do that is because it leads to the next, and it keeps you right there on your site.
Yeah, and there's
your channel.
There's actually a very good SEO reason to do this as well, which I should probably bring up. inside of YouTube, like let's say that you're doing this video for selling a product and you want to rank well in YouTube with the video itself. Well, what this will allow you to do is gets people to go to the next video, go to the next video, go to the next video, which increases what they call session time. Now, if you don't know what I mean by that is session time is user A comes to YouTube, maybe he watches a 2-minute video, but then he clicks over and watches a 5-minute video. Well, now that first 2-minute video is responsible for 7 minutes of that person being on YouTube. And so YouTube in their algorithm says, okay, this first video kept somebody on for 7 minutes, not 2 minutes. Therefore, we want more people to see this video because people watch more videos. They stay on YouTube, which means they are more likely to click an ad and we're more likely to make money. And so session time is actually a big factor in ranking your videos. And if you can get people to stay on YouTube longer by showing other videos, you're going to be rewarded SEO-wise for that. So that's one thing that should be mentioned with this. Now, we're going to scroll on down here a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time here because I actually want people to go right over and buy this now
sure.
because they got to get there to get this. So what I want you to do is go through this page and show them basically what they're going to get.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So these are those call to action videos that I just talked about. And let's mute that so we don't have to listen to it. The demo has music in it, but you can see this is the one we just showed here. You'd put your information in there with the little text editor. And there's a whole bunch of these in here. I believe there's 10 different ones.
They're beautiful.
That you can use. And again, you just put your information in there. So it's very simple.
When it comes to graphics, these are nice.
Yeah, and I would love to take credit for the actual design, but my partner is the one who physically created these, so he's the good guy there. These are the YouTube end screens. As you can see, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of these, and each one of them has multiple styles in them. So you can see there's 6 different styles in this one here, and you can have
that's great
4 videos, 3 videos, 3 videos, 2, and 1. And all of them work very similarly, so they'll have these 6 different options in here. So I think I said 50, but that's actually 60. So I don't know how to do math, but that's okay. And then we have different types of lower thirds here. And you can see we've got 10 different styles of lower thirds. But again, just like with the end screens, if we pop open one of these for a second, we'll mute it again, you'll see that we have different flavors of that particular one. So we've got, for instance, there one for a phone number, etc.
Nice.
So different styles for each one. So again, you're getting 10 different lower thirds, and I think there's 6 of each of those. So again, about 60 of those. And then we have the animated buttons, which I talked about earlier as well. Again, we'll mute that. And so you can see they just kind of look like that. Fortunately,
and so you would add one of these buttons to your video and people could click that, do whatever the action is.
Absolutely. So you would literally, in the video itself, maybe put it up over your shoulder and say, as you're talking about the product, you might put the add to cart button there. And the great thing about that is when people use that add to cart button, they're going to be taken directly to there to buy. And, a funny story about that, I actually had a business at one point in time where I didn't have a web page. The only thing I had was a YouTube video talking about the product and a clickable button. And the clickable button went right to PayPal. And people bought the product. It actually sold quite well for, probably like 2 years before I finally made a website for it. And we were, we weren't selling gangbusters, but we were selling quite a few. And it worked really, really well. So those are the assets that you get in here. So again, the buttons, the lower thirds, the YouTube end screens, and the call to action videos. And we also throw in some of those backgrounds, as I mentioned as well. So those are kind of a bonus. And of course, training. We've got lots of training in there. We not only have training on how to use these assets, but we actually do have training in there on the YouTube aspect of things where you can turn it into the clickable button. So we teach you how to do that as well as a bonus in there. So all of that comes inside there.
All right. So I'm a believer. And I'll tell you why I'm a believer is because I have looked at these end screens from Jimmy Fallon and Saturday Night Live and, Conan O'Brien and all these guys that are really killing it on YouTube with that end screen thing. And I knew that there was an easy way to do that. but I didn't know what it was, right? So I've been trying to figure out how to build my own, and now I don't have to, because the end screen to me is really the kind of the difference between a player and a not a player. If you've got a brand that you want to do on YouTube, because you got to have that to be able to get people to the next thing. So to me, that's a really big benefit of this whole thing. But the other stuff that you're throwing in, the buttons and the lower thirds, man, that just makes it simple. So Ray,
yeah.
I love it. I love what I see.
Talking about those end screens, I'll tell you one thing that I did at one point in time, which actually worked really well and was actually a lot of fun, is I had created a series of trainings on iMovie, which is a video editor that comes free on Mac computers. And I created probably, I think there was maybe like 10 videos. Actually, I think there was 10. And it was 10 trainings on different aspects of it. And what I did was at the end of each of the videos, I put almost like a DVD style menu, and it showed all the other 9 lessons on the end screen, and people could click whichever lesson they wanted. So it was almost like an interactive lesson at that point. They would finish the one and say, oh, I want to learn about this. They would click on that lesson and go and watch that lesson, et cetera, et cetera. And it worked really, really well. It was a completely free course. You know, people could opt in to get some goodies. So it did build a list, but it was a free course. And it was all done on YouTube with just those clickable links like that on the end screen. And it worked very, very well.
Nice.
This is exciting. Valerie, what do you think?
Oh, I'm in. You know I'm in. This is awesome.
Yep. Okay, so what people have to do to get this is click the button below this video, because that's going to take you to the page to be able to grab this as fast as you, I mean, it's like instant. So all you got to do is click the button below this video, and you're going to go over there. And Ray, this is going to be on sale for just a little while, right?
It is for 5 days. It's going to be on sale for $17. And so you can pick all of these up. And to give a little perspective, yeah, I know.
Right.
Give a little perspective of that too. If you were to go to a place like Video Hive where you can purchase lower thirds, those are going to cost you probably about $14 a piece. And when I say a piece, if you do it legally, every time you use that in a new project, you're supposed to pay them another $14.
Holy moly.
So it can be a very expensive proposition. You know, if you need lower thirds and you start doing things for different clients, you're going to be paying that every single time. With this, you're going to pay one time. You're going to get all of those assets all together at the same time in one low price. So it's
so let's recap here just quickly before we go away. There's 60 is what you said of the end plates.
I believe
pretty much.
Yeah, I believe there was 60 different. There's 10 different versions with 60 types.
Right. Yeah. And there were how many of the call to action plates?
I believe, and I was adding it up too as we were going.
And we've already proven your math's not that great, right?
So there was 10 different kinds, but there's
a lot. There's a lot
in there, yeah.
And there's a lot of animated buttons as well. So yeah, this is just awesome.
The lower thirds, that was easy. That was about 60 as well. And then the call to action end screens, there was 10 of those.
So essentially, people are getting all of this stuff for the price of one one lower third, is what you're saying.
Yes, I'm going to have to raise the price, I think.
I think you're going to have to raise the price pretty quickly. Yeah.
No, and after the 5 days, the price will be going up. So that's
okay. Well, jump in there, folks. Click that button below. And Ray and Valerie, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having us. I love it.
Talk soon.